Have you ever watched your child tell you a whole story from a book that they can't read yet? Or start scribbling away making a pretend shopping list? Those aren't just moments of play. Research shows that those first moments are the first steps to early literacy. It doesn't start at school, it's already started.
Hello, welcome to Dynamic Learning.
Hi, I'm Jane, and welcome back to Dynamic Learning, the channel made by parents for parents. We've done the research, so you don't have to. What do you do with your child right now before they ever step foot in a classroom matters more than most parents realise. This is episode 1 of our early literacy series for 3 to 4-year-olds. Throughout this episode, we are going to take a look at the bigger picture, what all this means, why it matters, before we start to delve into how you can best support this at home. So let's get started. Early literacy is simply the foundation. The skills, the knowledge, and the confidence that they have before they ever formally learn to read and write. And it doesn't start at school. It starts from birth, woven into everyday moments, conversations, songs, stories, and play. This isn't about drilling letters or testing your child. It's about nurturing a natural curiosity for language in the moments you're already sharing together. Most parents are surprised to learn that speaking happens naturally, whereas reading doesn't. The brain is wired for language, but print is a code, and someone has to teach it. Good news? That teaching doesn't look like flashcards or drills. It looks like a song at bedtime, a story on the sofa, a conversation about the cereal box at breakfast. That's the guidance children need, and you're almost certainly already giving it. Here's what early literacy for 3 to 4-year-olds actually looks like, so you know what to keep an eye out for at home. You may notice your child joining in with nursery rhymes or jingles, confidently finishing the last word of a line. This shows that they are tuning into the rhythm and sound patterns of language. Pretend reading a favourite book, turning the pages and telling you the story from memory, using the pictures as cues. This is a genuinely meaningful step in early literacy. Scribbling what looks like writing, a grocery list, a sign for their bedroom door, a note to their sibling. Those early attempts are all a part of the greater literacy picture. Recognizing signs, logos, or labels in the word, shouting "stop" when they see a stop sign, or pointing to a familiar shop logo. Experimenting with the sounds of words, making up silly nonsense words, noticing that bear and bull both start the same way, or laughing when something rhymes. If you see any of these moments, then your child's on the right path. Across this series, you're going to be hearing a few technical terms. We're going to take a look at what they are right now so that you don't get lost throughout this series. Phonological awareness is the hearing and playing with the sounds inside spoken words. No letters involved. Alphabet knowledge is growing familiarity with letter shapes, names, and sounds. Phonics exposure is the playful idea that written letters represent the sounds in spoken words. Print awareness is the understanding that print carries meaning and that we read left to right. These 4 areas all weave together throughout this series and across the 8 stepping stones. There are a few myths out there when it comes to early literacy, and they can sometimes create pressure when there really doesn't need to be any. The first myth is that learning to read is natural. It just happens, like learning to speak. Unlike speech, reading doesn't develop automatically. It needs to be taught. The good news is it doesn't have to look like a lesson. It can look like songs, stories, and a few words pointed out as you read together. The second myth is that flashcard drills are the best way to get a head start on reading. Flashcards teach children to memorize words, but word play and conversations teach them how words actually work. The third myth is that you have to wait until your child is ready before introducing literacy. There's no milestone to wait for. Rich, playful literacy experiences from birth onwards build the foundation. So pointing out a letter in a picture book or singing a rhyme together is always worth doing. Before we end this first introductory episode, there's a little reminder that I want to put out there for parents, and that is that every child develops at their own pace and in their own way. You're not beholden to a timeline. These aren't checks that you need to cross off. There's no pressure here. This series is not about pressure. It's about guidance for you so that you as the parent are aware of the developmental milestones and how you can best support this at home. Your everyday conversations, your bedtime stories, the songs you sing in the car, these are already building something significant. This series is simply here as a resource to come back to remind you that these small moments are actually big ones. You are already your child's most important teacher. Learning doesn't have to happen just in a classroom. It can happen anytime, anywhere, with you. So, that was episode 1, your big picture overview of early literacy. Episode 2 is where we start to get a little bit more practical. We're going to dive in and take a look at sound play, rhymes, rhythms, and silly word games that build the foundations for reading. Simple stuff with a huge impact. Subscribe so you don't miss out. And if your child's done something that's left you wondering, could this be early literacy? Drop in the comments and let me know. I love to hear from all of you. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in episode 2. Bye-bye.